Videos on, recording.
Okay, yeah.
There might be public comment in there, maybe there's a question. But I don't have the mic on, so we're not gonna listen to anybody. But if they do have questions, you should see it here.
Yeah, I moved into the area.
That's one thing I can't even figure out how to. That I can't figure out. Yeah.
Definitely there's a little more on the well, there really got stuff. The meetings during my birthday and precious passes. So I was rolling pretty busy. Pretty great. Yeah. So you say 6:25. Service.
For today,
Just great. There's flexibility. January's been odd this year.
Okay, we're 5 minutes away. We start making our way to the seats and breaks. We're gonna do a hard start at 6:30.
Well,
We live near. You think?
we'll have a gift card at the very end. A raffle. Probably not.
For being transparent. Now let somebody else know that. Then there's. So we could go now, I guess the next. There's not objections then. Yeah, we're good. It's the whole year thing, it's making. Yeah. Great.
We need more name tags.
Oh,
Where do you get that?
Give
somebody else.
You have to know. Bringing in. Denny. Yeah, I was leaving.
What happened? No, that's stranger.
I'm planning on that. I'll just seriously.
Yeah.
Oh, my
You might be coming through.
oh, yeah. Or at Marissa?
No, that will be really excited.
I'm glad that they are organized. Because that's the hardest part.
I do a lot of this. As it turns out. I just do. So where are the name tags?
To Aaron, and I thought he did it, but
Also, where are the name tags? Okay, out of name tags.
That's gonna be like a board. Did you drive tonight? That's why your car was out. I did not hit it. That's something. Okay, couple minutes, we'll begin.
Yeah.
Again, if you have not received a raffle ticket to Holidays, please see our board member Abby. I believe it's next door. Oh, that's right. Haven't been.
Oh, okay. Give the name.
Oh, you're already on there. Don't have to wrap. No, I haven't on that yet. Really? Okay.
Next 30, I think you should have.
All right. Just because I don't say your last name very often, but it's Zinska.
Mishka.
Mishka.
Okay, thanks for asking.
Like I was just reading that the other day. I'm like, I don't know the last name very well. You need to do that. So I'm just gonna call y'all out instead of everybody just doing it on their own. So, yeah. Even carry it. Can't.
Someone is. Yeah. Just listening. Yeah, because I was like, I don't know.
Shows up there on a. Yeah. I noticed it's pretty bright. You can't really see the screen.
No, sometime I'm gonna share.
You're rolling, so you're on mute.
If you please have a seat, let's have a seat, everyone. We're gonna get going here. We have packed agenda.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Let me just do one thing. Okay. Just like very nice aggressive.
So how are you doing? Okay, how are you? Good, good. You're back in.
Welcome. Hello.
Hello.
You first. Community gathering for Cully. 2026. Good turnout, everything. Welcome. My name is Aaron. I am the chair for the Cully Association. Love seeing new faces, regular faces that have come in over the past couple of years. Community members, great having you in here and taking time out of our busy lives to come in, learn a little more about Cully, a little more about events going on in Cully, projects that we're doing, and that's what we're here today. So definitely a packed agenda, but it's going to be kind of, some are going to probably be shorter and some might be a little longer, but we're going to try to get out of here at 8. We have the raffle for Halloween that will do at 8 o'clock. You got to be here to win. So remember the raffle's pretty fun. So we will start and actually I'm going here because I put this out for a reason and it kind of means a lot to me. I'm gonna say our neighborhood association is really about one simple thing: neighbors coming together to care for the place we all call home. Whether you've lived here for decades or just moved in the last week, you belong here. Your voice matters, your ideas matter, and your presence makes our community strong. Tonight is about connection, learning what's happening in Cully, finding ways, big or small, to get involved. We're all glad you're here. As board members, we're glad you're here. We put a lot of work into all this. Love it when y'all are showing up, and this might be one of our biggest crowds in a while. As we move through tonight's agenda, we ask you please to keep questions short and on topic. You can always connect with the person afterwards, get their information if you want a more bigger conversation or if you're more interested. That really helps us move along. If you need. And if you have more detailed questions, that's what we said, just connect directly. Now we are live on Zoom for our hybrid. We do record it, and we've thought about posting it to YouTube only through people that request to see it. If you want to respect privacy, and most of the camera just faces this way, so our little camera over there. Just wanted to get all of that up for that. Next, introduce our board members. Let's see, let's go, Chris.
Chris Brown?
Megan.
Megan Hughes, treasurer.
Abby.
I'm Abby Mishka, member at large.
Kara, our secretary.
I'm her pianist secretary.
Jeffrey, don't think Jeffrey walked in.
Jeffrey's not here yet, might be late, and then Nick,
And Nick is.
Jeffrey Collins, like,
Yes.
baby illness.
7 at the end of the night.
But we have.
Exciting. Announcements about it. Okay, let's get started with our land acknowledgement. Our community neighbor Max, gonna read that for us. Hello, everybody.
We'd like to acknowledge that this event, that our community rests in the traditional and village sites of the Multnomah, the Willamette, Bacchus, and to the Chinook, Tualatin, and Kalapuya, Molalla, and many other tribes who made their homes along the Columbia River. Multnomah is a band of Chinooks that lived in this area. We thank these descendants of these tribes for being the original stewards and protectors for these lands since time immemorial. We also acknowledge that Portland, Oregon, has the 9th largest urban Native American population in the US, with over 380 federally recognized tribes represented in the urban Portland metropolitan area. We also acknowledge the systemic policies of genocide, relocation, and assimilation that still impact many Indigenous and Native American families today. We are honored by the collective work of many Native nations, leaders, and families who are demonstrating resilience, resistance, revitalization, healing, and creativity. We are honored to be guests upon these lands. Thank you.
Yeah, we have a few little things to do some housekeeping as this keeps us, the only business we kind of have to do tonight. And this keeps us a little more legit for the state. And so one thing we do is review the agenda. And I think it's the other right. And that's what we have going on tonight. Seems like a lot, but it's just gonna be gonna bounce around and get it done. Let's see, so it's review. And we do vote on these things, because everybody here is a member when they come in and sign the sheet. We will do this for record keeping. And we usually have a motion, and then we vote to approve, and anyone abstains or votes doesn't approve. We will take that into account.
I move that we approve the agenda.
Chris moves.
A second.
Megan seconds. All those in favor of approving tonight's agenda, please raise your hand. Any opposed? Anyone abstain? Okay, it passes. Now we also, it's a little tricky. We have to approve our minutes from the last gathering. Now, a little deeper dive. It's so much not about reviewing it as just us giving transparency as a board and a community gathering. So this just says that we did it, we were there, you're seeing it. Then as a community, if no one objects to the minutes, we can motion and then approve. Even though these minutes were from November, it's really tough for anyone here to go. No, that's not correct. So our secretary, Karen, does as good a job as she can to make these correct. Josh,
As much as I would like to motion that we approve them, Denny's last name has an S at the end.
Oh, okay.
That's fine.
Oh.
Denny would have noticed if he was the second.
Reject the whole thing.
Yeah, Karen and I are friends.
If majority approved, you can't do it.
I would like to motion, I would like to
Josh
motion to
motions.
accept it with that addition.
I'll second.
Chris seconds. All those in favor of approving the November minutes, please raise your hand. Anyone oppose? You can definitely oppose. You can abstain. Abstain just means you don't have a yes or no.
Or you
We're
don't
working
know.
on pronouncing that.
You have no idea.
No idea.
Well,
That's okay.
no, that's okay. Typically, an abstention means that you are not part of the group that will be held responsible if anything legal came out of the vote. Nothing legal is gonna come out of this vote. So you can abstain if you want to, but it doesn't really,
Nothing dicey happened.
yeah.
Nothing.
There's no saying.
Oh, yeah. Okay, treasurer, Megan, yeah, we can zip right through this.
get that layout. There's the treasurer report, as you can see, we have $20,000 in the bank account. We've made 3,200 so far, our fiscal year starts July 1st through June 30th of this year. Right hand side are all the expenses and outlined how we have spent them, and then there's a little note at the bottom, pending expenses and guaranteed income notes. We will be receiving a $5,000 grant from Metro's RRF Regional Refresh Fund plus $5,000 from Reimagining Justice Cully through NAA for Cully Clean, which we will all be learning about more later with this meeting. And then we're gonna get monetary value for another thing we'll be learning about tonight, which is for the PRO focus group donated for us supporting that event on March 5th.
Yes.
5th, yes. So there you go, we're done.
There was a little change in the agenda, but it wasn't on the agenda, so we're sure about putting it on the agenda. Yes.
I
We
move
we
that
have
we
business.
accept this treasurer's report.
I second.
On your end? Lauren, seconds. All those in favor of approving the treasury report for February? And it's like most of folks. Anyone oppose? Anyone abstain? Okay, we have a special guest, our city council district 2 rep Alana Promogini is here. And she will us what it's called. Should say a few words and say hello.
Thanks so much, Erin. And I want to start by just saying thank you to everybody for being here. As more chairs were being brought out, I said, you know, most neighborhood associations don't have the problem of needing more chairs. And every time that I have been to your neighborhood association meetings, it has been a packed room. And I thought it was just because Cully was a fantastic, amazing neighborhood with a lot of civically engaged people. I did not realize that you can win a gift certificate.
You can't charge for them.
Now I understand your secret sauce. That's fantastic. But truly, thank you all for being the front door to democracy in our city, and the front door to activism, and the front door to community. Because it is the work that happens in spaces like this that makes our neighborhoods strong, that makes the communities across our city strong, and that allow us to build such a people-centered culture in Portland. So I appreciate you all being here. I don't think we're doing question and answers tonight. I think you're getting on with the rest of the agenda. I probably can't stay until the end. I promised my kid I'd be home by bedtime. But I'll be here for the next little bit just to learn more about what you all have going on in your neighborhood and make sure that I am connected to some of your work. And I'm hoping I can stay through the part of the agenda where you guys talk about Cully Fest, because it's one of my favorite parts of summer. So thank you for having me. And thank you for everything you do to make this such a strong part of our city. We appreciate it. Back to us.
Yeah, we can reaching out and just being here. So yeah, fantastic. And just a few easy quick housekeeping. Bathroom is down the hallway.
Down the hallway, to the right, to the left, to the right, to the right.
Yeah. Something, yeah.
You.
Then we don't have a break anymore because we've shortened the meeting a little bit. And so please just feel free to get up, get more food, drinks, don't be shy. And for further ado,
That was me.
we are gonna move on to air quality and the Cully update. DEQ conversation with Megan.
Hey everybody. So most of you, or those of you that were here in the November meeting, knew that I've been up to some good trouble with one of our neighbors. Porter Yet Asphalt Facility, which is located at 5949 Northeast Philly Boulevard. One of the only other addresses on Philly that I will ever remember, because I reported a lot. So we have some air quality issues going on with that facility. It is also in proximity to a lot of all of our low income housing in the neighborhood. And they have been in production since 1920. They own a significant amount of property. And they have the least regulated air permit through the DEQ, which we just learned. we also learned that several things were not working appropriately that were promised in 2018. That there was this blue smoke thing that was put in. They promised that they would monitor it, they would work on it. It hadn't been working. We've been complaining about the smells. So in the November meeting, I showed everybody how to complain and like how to report. So if anyone wasn't there and smells and lives in the area and wants to self-report, hit me up, email me at meg@cullyneighbors.org. I'll send you all the details. So then in the big trouble, we wrote a letter as can. And then our lovely friends at Verde joined us and as well as Mary from Neighbors for Clean Air, Oregon, and 2 lawyers from, I'm gonna just say the acronym because I can never get it right, NEDC, which is like Northwestern Environmental Community Justice Oregon, I think. And we met with 6 people from the DEQ on January 20th. And it was their like executive director, air quality people, and the person at the DEQ who is responsible for the Cleaner Air Oregon Act, which is what we are hopeful for. So our goal is to encourage the DEQ to get Porter on at least the next level permit. And then once they're on that permit, then we can call them up to Cleaner Air Oregon. And in that program, have a little bit more accountability and eyes on them to help support our community with our current air quality issues. The DEQ is extremely responsive to getting this permit in play. Didn't have any dates. I kind of threw a loop the day of the meeting because I had realized the week of the meeting that the tax lots of Porter Yacht's facility are not all owned by the company the DEQ has the permitting for. So there's tax investment properties that own several of those tax lots, but permit is only for 3 of the 19 lots in the vicinity. So the lawyers are working on that. We have another meeting scheduled. I think it's next week. The 19th, right? Yeah.
Well, that meeting is.
Like the internal us, yeah. We have that meeting and then we're gonna start doing more community outreach to help support. The DEQ also said that they would be very open to a town hall-esque meeting with Porter Yet. So I'm hoping that that's something that we'll have in the next 7 months, and people from the neighborhood can come and air grievances, sermons, and talk about it. I will also say, I learned so much about the facility that I started freaking out about the poisons less, in a way, just by like knowing what the bag house means and what was leaking in it and like how it was for particles and all these things that were really educational. So I'm really hopeful that we can have kind of an educational town hall as well as like, hey guys, what's going on? So that's down the line there. I might be over time, so I'm gonna rush this. The other thing that I did is this, I'm good?
3 minutes.
3 minutes, okay, perfect. So we're gonna rush. If anyone wants to talk to me about it at all, please email me. The other thing is I bought this purple air thing. I installed it at my house, so we get some more I live. But it helps me also freak out less. So it'll show you while the information is extremely good and very viable, it's not something that can help us fight the DEQ. They're not gonna consider that data anything besides like general data. However, it's good data. There's other things that we get the DEQ to put in neighborhood fence line monitoring that they would then use towards. But if we get the facility in Oregon for Clean Air, down, Clean Air Oregon, they will be required. Currently, they are only required to say how much production they produce, not how much emissions they have, which is the huge problem. So this is at my house. If you guys go on the app in like this website, there's an app on your phone, and that stuff's all free. The device just costs money. It helps to understand like when there's an air inversion, what the like air quality is, what the VOCs are. There's also a house, I have to go by it, and I didn't get a chance to, on like 52nd or 57th towards Lombard. That I don't know if they installed it next to their fireplace, but the VOCs are off the chart there always. So I have to figure out what's going on with that one, because that's what freaked me out the most about all of this. But then when they did this, it's not as bad. Like, and we're within 1,000 yards of the property facility. Yes, Kara.
I wonder if it would help to disorient people to the giant asphalt pile.
Oh, yeah.
At the very end of Cully, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, so if you're coming down Cully Boulevard towards like the airport or the golf course, going north. So going down Cully Boulevard, It's the intersections from like 60th to kind of 72nd. Between Lombard and Columbia, or like Killingsworth, Lombard and Columbia. It's the huge piles of asphalt that you'll see. It's that really jagged road that you go towards to get onto Columbia, that's like always just potholes and trash and graffiti. He owns all that. He owns the strip, like with no sidewalk, all of it, all the graffiti, everything. So, and by he meaning the Yet family. It's owned by Stephen and John, I believe. And so, but it's been in the family for years. They also own the property, which is the Coyote lot next to Sacagawea Park. So, yeah, those are at least the only three that I know of. Yeah.
Porter was the father.
Porter was the father, and but like I think it's a name that's carried through families, because when you look at like all of the public record, which we've received a lot of public record on the property that goes way back. There's still more to come. At some point, we'll be doing something with that. But I think that's kind of where it's at. So if anyone's interested, stay in touch. We'll be posting it on Instagram and Facebook, and hopefully also maybe getting some mailers out, getting other neighbors who aren't necessarily on the socials to be able to be coming and probably do some door knocking. So yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, but slow moving process, but big.
But yeah, slow, but like,
Yeah.
Nothing in government happens fast.
Okay, next up, we have we just have this. It's fantastic.
No, that's not you. Okay, good.
Okay, Cully Clean with Abby. There you have it.
Hi, I'm Abby. If you didn't get a rep ticket, see me after this. But also, I'm here to talk to you about the Cully Clean event we are planning. It is, save the date. Saturday, May 16th from 9 to 1. It will take place at the Trinity Lutheran Church on Killingsworth. And what it is a waste and recycling sustainability event. So a small committee of us are putting together this event to include dumpsters for hard to dispose of items that are garbage, but then also recycling of things like electronics, metal, mattresses, tires, and possibly other things. We're in the planning stages. And then a yard sale or swap for things that can still be reused. So garbage, recycling, and reuse is the focus. And then we'll also be including some community organizations for educational purposes around sustainability. I'm happy to introduce that we have hired 2 coordinators to help put on this event. The event coordinators here in the red plaid, Siona. So this, also our president, and then our volunteer coordinator will be M. Jones, who also lives in Cully. And speaking of volunteering, if you are interested, we have a sign-in sheet. Some of y'all already signed up. Thank you very much. We will also, between now and May, be sending out a call to sign up. And to start planning the different volunteer roles that will happen during that day. And leading up to it, if you want to be part of the planning. Speaking of planning committee, anyone here around the planning committee want to say anything else?
I'm gonna jump in real quick and do the hard sell of this being. Historically, it was one of the bigger events pre-COVID, before lockdown, that they actually had, lots of people helping out, and the money has changed over 100. The money has used to be the city, now more of it's going through grants through Metro, correct?
Yeah, right.
And
And
then
dumpster days is dead.
the what's that?
So you dumpster.
Oh,
days-
dumpster days, yeah, that's not, the city's not doing that
Right,
anymore.
the city's not doing dumpster days
Yeah.
anymore, so that is kind of, we're bringing it back to replace that as well for the neighborhood, so.
And it's gonna be it's gonna be a big day, so we definitely, big volunteer opportunity as far as Cully residents helping out. And it's gonna be a fundraiser for the neighborhood association as well. And hopefully food, we're still, planning.
Will happen.
Need some other bigger roles to be filled, and we'll be probably having some more hybrid meetings, definitely coming up, so.
So it is a building, community building event. And we had in the past, and I've been involved in the coordinating committee in the past for about 10 years, prior to COVID. It is so much fun. Michael. Yeah.
You wear vests.
And then.
Tell the OT volunteers.
You got it.
But actually,
Are we gonna have a DJ?
and part of this is really, what resources y'all might have that we might not know about. So you could have 50 vests sitting in your house that we might need, some of these things. We're trying to get, things have been lost over the years and not passed, things get lost.
So this is also BYOV.
I mean,
Yes.
we could have a blading vest competition.
Maybe some time for some questions, so.
Yeah, does anyone have any questions?
Patrick.
Is there a page on the website about this?
There is now, okay.
Oh.
It's sparse with details, because we're still planning them, but Kara taught me how to update the website.
And we are very grateful to Trinity Lutheran Church School. They have been supporting us, allowing us to use their property, their parking lot, and the whole time. And they're great. This year, though, we are going to have our vendors tabling along this, just on the grass, along the sidewalk. All of these cars and trucks and trailers are just waiting in line, inching their way, right? And so they can get out and they can get some sustainability brochures or whatever. So we're looking forward to that.
Mark?
Yeah, what would you say is the biggest need at this stage? Like if you had a bunch of money, would everything be fixed, or is it more complicated?
I would say, unless you go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Okay, I would say that if we could have a couple of more people on our coordinating committee to begin with. And then but we do have our event coordinator, Siona, and also our volunteer coordinator. The volunteer coordinator could have a buddy. That would help tremendously because there's follow-up calls and such, and scheduling them in 2 or 3 hour shifts, and coordinating the food for the volunteers and all of the safety equipment and safety work, brochure or whatever needs to be handed out. We're gonna have them sign a waiver, and all the volunteers.
Yeah.
And so, and then people who just really like yard sales, and we have like 5 or 6 people on the yard sale. Oh, you wanna get 50 cents of that?
There will probably be a rest.
Yeah.
Yeah. She like kind of keeping an eye on when we're posting, like, hey, we've got a volunteer meeting, or like we're, I think that'll be really supportive too, so that if you are interested, we'll be having one meetings with you.
And all these are on Zoom right now, and we haven't met in
Right.
person yet. If we do, it might be the core group, just like board members kind of.
And you can ask Bob and Julie right over there, because Bob was in the cashier, for years. Right? So, yeah, so there's a number.
All right, Denny, I gotta move on. Moving on. Thank you, Denny. The Denny clock. Okay, next up, we have Kristen McKee with invitation to. There we go. Doing that.
Thank you. Thank you. Hi, I'm Kristen.
And I just wanna say one little thing first before I start. If I lived somewhere else. You people, I would like read about somewhere and I would just be so jealous and longing to be a part of this place. Like it's such an honor to be here in this neighborhood. Part of that is Cully Fest, which you may all be familiar with. Coming up, our third Cully Fest, gonna happen in September, September 19th, save the date, you could put it on your calendar already. And actually the planning is already happening. There's people who have been meeting and talking about stuff and it's really fun, they're a really fun group of people. And you could be part of them also. So, inviting you to participate, at very least coming on the day of, it's on a Saturday in September. Or you can come to our next, social gathering, which is happening on Friday, the 20th of February. 6:30, we're gonna meet over at that new spot called Back Patio. Yeah, come check it out. And just, it's real, just a social, we're just gonna come chat with each other. Maybe I'll have some like paper and markers and stuff, you know, meet people. Brainstorm how you'd like to get involved, because there's so much, there's like, if you're interested in art, planning, fundraising, painting, spreadsheets, walking, like you said, you could pretty much anything you like, you could do in relation to Cully Fest and hang out with the people.
Real quick, last year, who had or haven't been to Cully Fest? Haven't. Have not.
Oh, please come. It's really special.
Over some of the.
Like 1,200 people that came last year?
Yeah. 15.
It's around there.
Same location as this, but same idea.
Yes.
57th and Prescott.
Yeah, kind of the five corners over there by Albertson.
And the Cully Letters is one of the events.
Yeah, this happened at Cully Fest last year and several times since then, and it's still happening.
There are 4 nights.
So any questions about Cully Fest, how to get involved, social gathering, any of that?
What's the time of the social gathering?
The social gathering is, well, wait, let me check. I happen to have it here in the newspaper. Cully Fest social gathering, February 20th, 6:30 p.m. back patio, which is 3944 Northeast Cully.
And kind of with Cully Clean, what are some of the needs as far as what bodies do you need right now to fill?
For Cully Fest. At this point, if anybody has any experience or interest in things like fundraising, grant writing, fiscal sponsorships, creating an entity, a business entity, things like that, we'd love to talk to you. So come see me or Kara, or Faraya. And other than that, like general volunteers, pretty much this is, I was talking to Max, we didn't get to know each other until, like the day of was the first time I remember seeing you. And yet who's volunteering, and it would have been fun if we had started now, right, like doing stuff together, so. Lesson learned, like if you're interested at all, come and find out what your interesting capacity is and join us.
Are there paid positions like last year?
There very likely will be paid positions, yeah, so if that's an interest as well, like having a stipend for some of your work and committing. Come talk to us too.
How would we reach you for that?
Oh,
You can go to cullyfest.org is.
Cullyfest.org, right there, you could go there, or you could come talk to any of us who are here in this
Like
room.
just go to the thing on the back or the back patio.
At the back patio, you can just show up there, yeah.
I'll do that.
Yeah.
And our website as well, cullyneighbors.org, we try to keep on top of posting everything, but that.
There's a lot.
We technically, so the Cully Clean is a Cully Association of Neighbors hosted event. Cully Fest is not. We definitely are a part of it, and we did a booth last year, the screen printing booth. So if that was any, just to clear that up, that CAN will be involved as much as they can be. But that just yeah, little, if you're looking. Okay.
Moving on. On a completely different note. Here's a thing. It's kind of a new thing, so I'm gonna describe it to you. It's a newspaper. It looks like this. And there's a stack of them over there, and there might be some being passed around. The newspaper is called Meet Me at the Park. The park that we're talking about is Coonamount's Park, which is fairly near here. You may all be familiar. You can only find this paper in person if you know someone. If you're walking to the park, there might be places that you can find it, like Bison Coffee House or Ted's Farm Store or the Mini Mercado on Killingsworth. Maybe some other places, you might find it in the little library. You might have a friend or a neighbor hand it to you. You cannot find this paper online. This paper is intended as a hyper-local newspaper that fosters real-life connections. Hyper-local, within about 2-mile radius of the park, Coonamount's Park. It fosters real-life connections. So the idea behind this is you gotta get up out of your chair, you gotta go find it, and then you might ask a friend where to find it, you might find it, you might read this and say, oh geez, did you hear this? What did one wall say to the other? Meet you at the corner, right? So you can ask the person next to you. That might be really irritating to you. You might instead have a conversation. You might see this list of events on the back and say, I'm gonna go there, maybe meet some. So this is the stand that's available at Bison, handmade piece of art by local people, some of us sitting in this room right now. And we also are taking submissions. So how do you get involved in the paper? This is for all of us. The newspaper club meets Tuesdays, at least every other Tuesday over at Bison Coffee House, and the dates are in the paper for the newspaper club. So you can come on by and find us there. That's another way to find me.
Right, 9 to 10 in the morning.
9 to 10 at Bison Coffee House. Also, if you have something that you really think should go in the paper, find one of these submission boxes, or you can hand it to us. There's a little 3x5 card right on there. What do you think should go in the paper? Leave us your name and phone number if you want us to get back in touch with you. And there's lots of ways to help make the next one. We need help printing these, distributing them, like making artsy boxes, drinking coffee, talking about stuff. So there it is. Any questions about being a science? All right, thank you.
Just now realizing that everything on this agenda is pretty much asking you all to be in, volunteer for something, so. This is the theme of tonight's. So, up next, we have. Gotta work on this. Right. Kara, up to explain the MERP.
Okay.
That's down.
Okay, who's heard of MERP before? All right, so Portland is Portland is pretty well known for its urban planning, right? It's like one of the best programs. People come from all over the nation for this program at PSU. And as part of the master's program, they have a 6-month workshop final project that they do. And so because MERP has been very instrumental in making, significant changes in Portland. So, for example, Nato Parkway was going to be a major highway. But it was MERP students who proposed the whole, like the bike lanes, and so a lot of this planning is coming out of the school. So the Mercado that's on Foster Boulevard, unfortunately that we lost, but hopefully will be rebuilt, was a project of MERP. And so this is like a real honor that we were selected to be part of this program. So Fry and I submitted an application together to the students. We got to go up there and pitch our idea because the students got to choose which projects they wanted to work on. And for any of you know, like Five Corners is near and dear to my heart and many others because it is our kind of, forgotten stepsister of a town hall, a town square, right? This is our piddly little commons, which wasn't very thoughtfully constructed and what's that?
Explain the corners, the intersection.
Okay, do you guys know the Five Corners? It's where basically Prescott comes straight through. There's five of the corners, right? 60th, Cully Boulevard, and 57th, right by the Albertsons. The church, the food cart corner there. So you're familiar with it. It's a busy, not so friendly intersection. And we've been working on it steadily for about 3 years. Including Eddie was there and Denny, folks, for the very first time where we just walked around that intersection to say, what can we do here? So this is another great example of how neighbors just got together to say, what can we do? And so that's what was Cully Fest was born out of that. How can we bring more attention to this area, knowing that we deserve a bustling but yet very welcoming and connected hub. And so that's really the vision for this project is we want the Five Corners to be connected and resilient. We don't just want it to be like cars driving through 1,000,000 miles an hour, right? So thinking about it as a hub, and there are spokes that come from our hub. So where are people coming and going from? How can we make it easy for people to come in and out of that? And that will really activate this economic hub that we have, right? This is one of our business districts, and Eddie is leading our Cully Boulevard Business District as well as our 42nd. And so we also want to do this mindfully, right? So we know that we have some kind of our guideposts for what are we looking for. So we know that safety is important. We have a lot of folks that are walking with children through that. And so when we think about safety, we can think about that broadly, not just car traffic, but like it's so hot and there's very little shade there. So to feel safe is to be able to have a place to rest, is to feel like you're not going to get run down by a car. And then, just being interconnected and accessible. Like anybody knows if trying to take public transportation from Cully, it's a challenge, right? You have to connect. There's no direct shots downtown. So can we raise awareness about the, kind of create this as more of a hub that would be more interconnected to all the important places that we want to go to from this intersection. Equity, right? So this is such an important part of all the projects that we do and centered in terms of this is our TIF district and one of our core tenets of equity. So wanting this to be something that drives, community-centered economic opportunities too. Can we create more pop-up economic opportunities, small business spaces, low income? We have a lot of like asphalt in that intersection, lots of large parking lots that maybe there's some other opportunities to promote small businesses and more walkability. And social cohesion, right? So we've started to work on this with Cully Fest and painting the sidewalks and creating something that, we're creating together. And so we want to continue to do that. And again, having some kind of green respite. So we could be definitely having more shade and more green and just more beauty in that area. So all this to say, another volunteer opportunity to be involved with. So did anybody participate in some of the early design charrettes and visioning for Five Corners, like over the last few years, you say? Okay, so what we want to do, we've asked the students specifically, is that we don't want just to have we want them to guide us, but we want this to be community generated ideas. And so the idea is that they're going to run a few different like hands-on workshops where we can actually come up with ideas and we can start to visualize them together, right? We've asked them not just to say, what are the problems, but how do we help shape the solutions that they envision? So we're going to be going through these kind of iterative cycles of revisions of this vision, and they're going to be engaging the community. So there'll be there'll be like some information early on, and then we'll have some more hands-on workshops. So we would love to see you all there. You don't have to have any experience. All you have to know is that, that you want to create some good in the neighborhood. And so that's just so you guys all know, if you hear the word MERP, you know what it's about, and we'd love to have you involved. And so this project is just starting now, and it should be completed in June, and we'll have like a final report out from these students and be able to actually visualize a long-term vision and maybe even a more short-term actionable vision that we can, move forward with. So excited to be kicking this off. Questions? Yeah.
Who's this Verizon person you're talking about?
All right. Come on up. Yeah. Do you want to have?
Just that we've got a really great group of students that are a little bit creative, a little bit more project management, so we're hoping to have a really good balance of creative, practical ideas. And we're very excited to see what they come up with and have the community participate in this project.
How many students?
Six students, yeah.
Okay, I got good group.
Yeah.
I'll just,
Who are you and what do you represent?
I'm Mariah, and I am the Reimagining Justice and Cully project coordinator for NAIA. So I'm right here. And at cards, if you want to connect after you have any issues or please come.
Yes.
what is the next date and how is the best way to do it?
That's a great question. So I would stay tuned via the CAN newsletter for the next upcoming dates. We are just getting the first version of the timeline, and so we really don't have those dates set quite yet.
And social media.
And social media, yes. Any other questions? Okay.
Thank you.
So yeah, if there's something out there that you just were dying to volunteer for. Oh, nice. We're not even done yet. Next up. With this here, new talent. Yeah, new talent. Okay, this. There you go. Here you go.
Hello, I'm Cully. That previous opportunity sounded really cool. I was actually planning major in my undergrad, but here I am with another opportunity at you. If you were interested in all of the previous really exciting ones, I'm happy to be here. I recognize some people have done actions before, but again, my name is Cully Perez. I'm the Air Quality and Climate Program Coordinator at Verde. And yeah, we wanted to come here today to present this opportunity to participate in the Plan for a Resilient Oregon. The Plan for Resilient Oregon is a directed project by the governor to be a multi-hazard resilience strategy, people-centered, mission by, I wanted to really briefly pull up the definition of resilience that we have for the pro, because we actually did one of our engagements already, and we realized that resilience is quite a complex topic. So the definition that we have for it is: resilience is the capacity of Oregon's people, institutions, and communities to anticipate, mitigate, respond to, and recover from disruptions, whether natural, human caused, or systemic, while safeguarding community well-being, trust, and opportunity for all, including those at the greatest risk of harm. So it was at first really focused on natural disasters and extreme events, but we did kind of change it a little bit to be a little bit more broad. And Verde is the facilitator for the Portland Metro region, Washington County, Clackamas County, and of course Multnomah County. But we are supporting a group of 10 other community-based organizations to give input into the plan. Okay. So as part of the pro, we are holding some engagement events. I'm here to talk about our next one, which will be a focus group. And you will be able to see the results of all of our engagement events in July and August, with the final version coming out in September. Yeah, so we are looking for people in the Cully neighborhood, like I said, that holds the Cully neighborhood very near and dear to our hearts, and we want to strive to complete our mission to serve our communities, to build environmental wealth. we are looking at March 5th. We are expecting to be here in this community space from 6 to 8. We will be providing food and some small compensation for your participation in the event. And yeah, we are only accepting a small number of applicants, so there is other ways to submit your input into the plan. There is a survey, and I don't think I shared that yet, but I will share that, so you can share that afterwards. But yeah, the focus group will be focused on getting your opinions, questions, and just any thoughts that you have around what resilience is, what opportunities and barriers there are to this community having resilience to extreme disasters. And yeah, we are excited to have it on. I don't know if there's anything.
Yeah, and I just wanted to say, so the QR code that's up there has the tiny URL plus this, if you want to register. This is how you can RSVP. And again, we are still figuring out the catering, but it will be likely very yummy, maybe hopefully nearby.
Yeah.
And again, with the tiny number, there will be a compensation for attending and supporting. So, question.
So I have a question. What does PRO have in connection with the Department of Emergency Management's B2 Week Ready resilience program?
Yeah, I don't know if there is a direct connection myself, but I have heard of that program and the like resilience ready events that they hold. But I did want to also say that what we were told is that the PRO is designed also to be a compendium of all of the hazard mitigation plans out there, climate action plans that there are in multiple states, but also to be really focused on getting community input and community voices, which is what we as an organization have been tasked to do. So I'm sorry, I don't know exactly the connection there, but I have heard of them.
I'm new and I was wondering if it makes sense that this one is kind of like a longer form project where you collect feedback and then like release the iterations. Are there other resilience events like for Cully that happen throughout the year, or is that kind of more, I'm asking like all like anybody that knows, is there others?
Can you say more about the nets?
So you guys could say more about net. I just learned about it.
Talk to him.
Do you want to? Because so there the neighborhood emergency team has like there's these networks. There are these networks. They came to a gathering last spring, and
We did a training in not the spring, but some other time.
sometime last year.
Yep.
Do you want to speak on it?
Sure.
Yeah. we have a little.
Right. Hi, I'm Michael. Cully, the Cully neighbor, and NET is the neighborhood emergency team, which is everywhere else in the United States other than the city of Portland. They're called CERTs, Community Emergency Resilience or Response Teams. And so it is neighbors within a community who are trained, about 24 hours worth of training, to work at a level below the first responders, police, fire, EMTs. Then you have the net, because in the case of a big emergency, the paid folks are going to be probably somewhere else. And so they're the kind of community responders that are organized. And right now, there are a whole number of people in Cully who are trained nets. Are there any others in the room right now? There's a second, there's a third, there's a fourth. All right, do I hear five? Anyway, right now, the net team for Cully is joined with the Concordia Cully team. And so those two are working together. And there's another team that is called Net Unidos, which is a Spanish speaking or bilingual Cully team that spans more than just Cully, but oftentimes meets here in Cully. All right, so then below that is us, the people who live in any community. And that's where B2 Week Ready comes in. That is if those of you who were here when we presented, was it last fall, summer, fall? We had somebody from PBAM, Portland Bureau of Emergency Management, somebody from the State Department of Emergency Management, and then I spoke also. And B2 Week Ready is a whole series of things that we can do with guide tools about how we can be ready for when camping comes to us. As opposed to when we think about plan to go camping, it's when the excrement hits the oscillator and we get to camp. And so the whole intention is how we can be more resilient together and how important it is for you and your household to be ready. But if your neighbors aren't ready, they're gonna knock on your door and say, hey, can I have some of what you had? So the idea is for us to come together yet again as a community and be prepared together to know who we need to check in on, who has special needs, who we can ask, who has special abilities, healthcare workers, construction workers or whatever, builders, who can be resources in the community. And together, all of those things together, we can be more resilient. So we'll be working with you.
Yes, thank you for that information.
And to tie it into MERP, we're hoping that we'll also have a central location where we can all meet when excrement.
Government.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet, yeah, thank you so much for that, and we will be working together. And yeah, again, this is more of a input, not so much of educating on resilience strategies, but asking you what you need for that, so. Yeah, and while I have the mic, I did want to reiterate, I am working with Megan on the Porter Yet work, and I just wanted to say that, like, keep those complaints coming in, rolling in. There is a point where they can't ignore them, so yeah, please do that. And I also wanted to say, I was at Cully Fest, maybe that's where I recognize some people. And I was sitting at a booth with Oregon Public Health Association where we were getting input for our what's it called? Extreme Heat Resource Guide for the Cully neighborhood. So that I actually just saw the first draft for. We're getting it translated and we're gonna have it released in the early spring or summer. So I'd love to come back once that is out and hand it up to you.
But
Yeah. It's not out yet. But yeah, please let me know if you have any questions. I brought cards and there is a QR code on the table.
yes, to register. And we'll be posting and probably sending out another newsletter before the event.
This one, there is compensation. There is like some type of.
Yes.
Yes, we have to RSVP.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Cool. And also, I am sorry, not in this neighborhood, but maybe someday.
Well, I don't think this has ever happened in any of the gatherings we've had, but we are extremely ahead of time.
Oh, no.
So next. Public announcements. I can wrap up early. So this part was kind of. Oh, that's right. I forgot I was talking about this.
All right, we're behind schedule.
Another opportunity. I did not do my due diligence of study. Our guest could not be here with us. Thank you. So there is several workshops coming up this next year with the Columbia SLU. And they are looking to get more input on the future of it. They're actually doing with a $100 gift card. This once again affecting some of our neighborhood in Cully. And another chance to just register to be part of envisioning what the SLU is going to be. I wish I had a map. Where is the who knows? Who knows more than this? Somebody, who does the kayak?
There's a slew of information.
Very happy.
Yeah, Max.
So yeah, it's basically like elevator reach north. So I think it starts Troutdale and be done here, probably like Harvey.
And what is a slough?
Slack waters, the water doesn't really quite flow very strongly, so for the lower slack.
From the Columbia.
But not just in the Columbia, but all the water, it goes downhill from Cully. Goes downhill to the sloughs. And so all the ground volume that you're putting in the street.
If you have a street.
Yeah.
The second phase of the Puerto Rico plan as well.
All the junk in the street.
And
So-
and just north of here, of course, there's the Columbia Slough, but there's also the Whitaker.
Whitaker Pond.
Which is
Whitaker.
Yeah. There's there.
So, yes, so that is on our calendar, and that's happening 28.
Okay.
Yes, yeah.
A lot of they say space is limited. You want to push people forward to in-person event that you're able to, assume
Right.
this kind of event that people were able to make it to the. In-person this summer, I think at Colwood Golf Center, so it's actually more, I think it's part of it's Colwood Vertical.
Is that the one that golfers should go past to go to the
Yeah,
airport?
So it's north of
The airport golf course,
south.
Coldwood.
or the airport golf course.
Yes.
The shortcuts you get, you're fun on, right?
And yeah, so public announcements, please, we have time, definitely have time tonight. If you have something coming up, please let us know. It's your time to take the mic and let the community know. One thing that Ken is wanting to do is solve cleanup. And in April, solve the ordinance solve that do a lot of the litter pickup that combines, they do beach cleanups, the lake. We did one last year, we'd love to do another one, it was a good turnout. And if you have an area, if you have ideas of what would be a nice area to do that in, usually Killingsworth is always a good go-to. We marched from 57th pretty much up, how far we go, probably 42nd, almost that distance. And it does look picked up for about 48 hours. So and but that is there's so much when, and I get this when folks ask about being part of this neighborhood association with Cully, is there is so much going on in so many different areas, and it could be your issue on your street could be completely irrelevant to somebody else in another part of Cully. And some have sidewalks, some have gravel roads, it's parking, it's keeping Killingsworth clean, it's making different areas, these placemaking ideas. So on that note, that's gonna be more of my closing remarks, but anyway. Please let us know, email us info@cullyneighbors.org if you have an idea. I'm gonna try to do one, get one going in March, once again, another volunteer opportunity, that's just more of just showing up, cause I go get the gear. Which you have to go to KTW for some reason to get all the gear across town, but. It's great, we have some pickup trucks we kind of we use, and we kind of help out, and then they will come pick up the body. So you've not done a solid event before, it's literally just showing up, picking up, and then they will send a junk removal truck, so actually pretty easy.
I adopted a block on Killingsworth,
Ah.
so no, I'm not okay.
Gosh.
Stuff.
Mess. It's not just fine, but mine is a mess.
Are we talking about the stretch from Cully Boulevard over to 60th?
The other way, closer to Trinity, actually, so it's not the worst of the
Right,
worst, but it's rough, it's just me. Is there other, so solve, clean up, thank the Lord, let's please do it, also. Are there any city resources, county resources, and?
Too bad, it's not up for that.
Help us, like, I don't understand the systemic response.
Yeah.
To the problem.
So there is an informal group all over the city, and my neighbor, Anne, my neighbor, is a part of that. And so I can connect you with her, and she could probably, yeah, so there'll be volunteers in your area that would get together. It's better to do that as a group. That's what one of the great things about Solve is that you're just not doing it alone, and it becomes a little bit of a social event at the same time.
And providing more gear and bigger bags.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Brian, what's your deal?
Yeah, just like, I have plenty of information, I can actually give you a little magnet, I don't have it right there, right now, so I'll grab you one, that tells you who to call for what issue. So 311 is who you call. You can also report online. It's like 5 questions. You can report graffiti, trash dumping, abandoned cars.
And you can just Google PDX reporter or
Yeah.
pdxreporter.org.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
in November, you talked about a lot of the options, but it's also like, do we put street sweeping? Like.
And if you have a street. Those options are good for big things.
Yes.
They're not for like if something that's like mattress, tires, or
Microplastics, you're
something.
on your own.
But for all the little stuff. We just have to go around and clean up.
Yeah.
Because and
Quite
a lot of it is people throwing stuff out of their car, but a lot of it is just from your trash cans that open up in the wind and.
No, I just
Roll
wish
around.
about there could be like a fly on the wall, like study the psychology of litter. It's like, where is it all coming from? It's not from all shoes.
Sometimes it's not knowing that a lot of these can be recycled before they get on the street, so a lot of folks. I champion this community warehouse all the time, volunteer for them, and we're just, folks don't know what to do with a mattress. And if it's not soiled or it's in good condition, they will come pick it up for a fee, or we can throw it in my old environmental truck and take it down to the warehouse, so.
I also think that's why kind of with the Cully Clean and the shift this year to make it more of like an eco-focused sustainable event. Is really to educate a lot of neighbors who are like, cool, it's dumpster days, let's just go throw it all out. But being able to like also be like, no, actually, like, that's not what we really do. Yeah, but I also wanna hold some space to say. It's exhausting to do all of the self-reporting. We unfortunately are in the system here in the city because of lack of funds and. A brand new city council still, like it's a baby city council, and so. I will say, they are doing something now when you self-report. It does actually happen. And the timeliness has been so much nicer as opposed to like 2 years ago. You just have to figure out like, I mean, I would pay this guy John to go take the, moldy couch on Cully to the dump for me. So I started walking past it with the dog, so, but that's not happening. Home Metro, what happens?
You wanna, why the mic?
On here, our lovely hosts have a market coming up. So Naya's Native Made Spring Market is March 7th and March 8th from 11 to 6, not in Cully, but at the Light Center. So here's some flyers. If anyone on that side of Cully or that side of Cully would like to take some and put them up in posts and such, there's a handful that we can hand out to you. To publicize it a little bit more in the neighborhood, that we were helpful for our posts. So, let's set these out here.
To have on your radar, April 21st, we did this last year, Oakshire does host their nonprofit Tuesday night, they helped us out the last 2 years. We get 10% of food sales and it's $1 for their core draft beers. And it's a big event, we're gonna have some bands again, it was a great turnout. And that will happen April 21st. And then just a few other things, if you're looking just for what's going on in the neighborhood with other nonprofits, and Maya's a great one to check out. Lots going on there, definitely some garden volunteer opportunities. And then we, with these resources, if you're curious, we are trying to update, it's pretty updated on our website. And we're very proud of our website, a lot of work has gone into it, and we definitely have city resources, local resources. That's kind of what we're here for as CAN. We want to be this resource center. You can ask us maybe where to go, we're getting better at that, and where to direct you. And that's kind of what we want. If you move here and they're like, what's going on? I'll Google Cully Association and then this pops up. So historically, that hasn't really been as much of a resource center. So we've really taken the time to update that and make that a great looking website. Shout out to Garrett. And yeah, anyone on a public announcement? Anything going on?
Just wanted to say I put magnets over there, so please grab some. They have you in Spanish as well.
They also will magnetize to all of those weird electrical boxes we pass on the street. Little street graffiti moment. Oh, and Aaron already clicked forward, but there's a calendar on the website, so you can find out about all the events mentioned, but also if you know of events happening in Cully.
Yes.
Or you're putting on your own event in Cully, you can fill in the form on the calendar page and it will get onto the calendar.
I have one.
Just back.
Just since we have time, there was something I forgot to say about the PRO, which is, it is supposed to be, one of the objectives is to influence the governor's recommended budget for the next biennium. So that is one of the objectives of it, besides just having a plan that members of the public and government officials and everybody can look at. And also, we are always happy to accommodate any language needs or any other kind of needs, so feel free to share with non-English students. Thank you.
Sure.
I'm Rachel, I live in Cully and I own Misplaced Screen Printing across the street with my husband, and we're having an all ages show, music show on Sunday. Very last minute, but tell your kids, bring them over. There needs to be a lot more all ages spaces in Portland, and we're gonna be doing that quarterly, so this is the first time of the year.
Max?
It'll be like 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. and it's on our Instagram, so.
You've done this before, which is great.
Yeah, we've had other shows there, but we're gonna get into the rhythm. There's a band, it's like rock, let's just say rock music. I don't know if that's maybe like certain pops that open. It's a really good lineup. Yeah, all local bands.
Denny?
So, whistle, okay? Very shrill, right?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Okay.
Ice.
Okay, yes. And so I'm wearing this all the time. There are whistles here and you're welcome to them. They'll be right up here. The PIRC number is an 888 number, which is in my phone, and you can do the same thing. So if you see him. Yes, it is. And these are really cute whistles too. I'll tell you.
So nervous.
Yeah, so.
Excited. There's different. There's two.
It's for an app. So this app is actually if your power goes out, satellites go down, what do? You can use this app to communicate through Bluetooth. It creates a mesh network, so you can still text to people in the network based on like who's close by you. So if I'm at my house and you're at your house, I can text and it's an open channel, all anonymous, and you can tell me what you need. And we don't even have to be close. Anyway, it's great for emergencies, but also good. You don't want people reading your conversation.
I forgot to show on Sunday is also a fundraiser for PERT.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I forgot to share on.
You put up for, the can opener night, I love, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Next Tuesday, Rhythm Seed Farm. It's so
Next Tuesday.
It's on Trump.
it's a farm that is usually grows grants to seed the seeds. So it's also a seed swap, so you can bring some. So that's the ocean, that next Tuesday.
And if you do drink beer, ask for their core beers. Don't buy the other ones. And not advertised as well as they should. And that needs more money for the nonprofit. That's like 6 of their main beers. Don't get the fancy ones, just ask for the core beers, but I'm making a bigger sign this year. Buy all the pizza. Yeah, okay, I feel like y'all are getting antsy. We're almost done. We're getting there, which really, we're doing great. So if you're looking for another volunteer out there. We have board member elections coming up this year. We have the open positions. There you go. That's what you're actually up. You're up. So we have 2 member large positions. Remember, our current ones have 1 more year to go. And we have a co-chair, co-chair would be great. Actually, I'm gonna start with this. Neighbors. Our neighborhood association is strong because of people like you. Because they step up. And with board elections coming up, we have a chance to bring in new energy and share leadership. Some of the same energy, they wanna stick around, which is great. Last year we kind of had a changeover, we had board members, we were starting fresh and we had folks come in that have never done this before. And it's been so impressive and so awesome to see them step up. I raised my hand as treasurer, not knowing what being a treasurer was about.
And we're still
Learning, my finances are even better now because of it. Last year,
Great job.
it was spaghetti when I got it, and then it was probably more lasagna when you got it, so it's, yeah.
Really well.
And then we needed a chair, we just had some folks that had been on the board for a while, and it was, it just, we just got it again, move on. So, I stepped up not knowing anything about this, it has been a learning curve, every time I do it, it feels a little more comfortable. Still get nervous when I get up here, but it was something that took me out of my comfort zone, and it's been really, really awesome to just meet the other board members and to be a part of this. And be a part of Cully, and just seeing one of our biggest turnouts, we didn't really have a heavy topic, like a heavy, usually those get, but they can be kind of specific on the audience, so. This format tonight was really fun, and we need ideas of what you'd like to see. Our next one, which we're already on, council members, Samir Kanal, his tour of summer he put out. And I didn't know he was making one of his tours, so he's gonna be, looks like he's doing a Q&A, it's gonna be more of a town hall at our election, so that's already on the April.
And he's in our district.
In District 2, yes, India Ryan is our third one. But basically, it's an opportunity we do meet, once a month, we come up with. We're doing a lot this year, y'all saw tonight, there's a lot going on, and, it's in these times, I think it makes me feel a little more comfortable and just a little warms my heart to come to one of these events, because a lot of the big things in this world are harder to change. And they take a lot more time, and we can literally have a cleanup on a block. We can just meet neighbors, y'all are all meeting each other tonight, and it's been really neat. This is encouraging. I never know who's gonna show up and start talking to 5 people at 6 and then it fills up. And I'm not as nervous anymore. So thank you. But yeah, I mean, we'll have. Yeah, you don't need to be an expert.
Go to
So-
the next slide.
Okay, good.
Yes, sometimes our board members wait to the last minute to give me slides.
Flyer from last year, so.
But they put them in there, and that's great.
So we are having a couple social hours over the next 2 months, so you can meet members of the board and have a more informal conversation. So those are the dates there. We will be putting them on the website calendar, maybe tomorrow. But
And we'll post on Instagram.
Just take a photo.
But next week we'll be meeting on Thursday at the new Back Patio Cafe, which is the new wine bar shop across from Bison, next door to Appliance City. And I think they have a pizza truck now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's there every night.
Okay.
I think it's rotates.
Rotates, okay.
They're trying to get people to
Okay.
make a full food cart pod, but they probably won't be able to do that till summer.
They had lobster.
yeah, I was there.
Also, they have pinball, which I.
They always have pinball and the-
They always have charcuterie.
Oh, they always have
Like
charcuterie, okay,
charcuterie,
great.
yes.
I was like.
Oh, yeah, that's a business, we try to do that with the rallies, it's like we buy something local, or we get donated, we've had a lot of donations, and sometimes I try to get in there and sweet talk them, and they can give us $15 or something. And then, yeah, some of this has just been a great way to get into some local politics on a very small area, and that's been really neat, just like part of that, so. Our members are gonna, it sounds like everyone's gonna re-sign up, they still need to be voted in, you're more than welcome to challenge them. Co-chair would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Would love a co-chair, I think it would make the chair position stronger.
Yes.
And that's open, and then the 2-member at large, we have 1 slot that's empty, And then, I'm sure Chris will let it. So, yeah, oh, Chris wants it. Yes, that.
What does the co-chair do? Okay, what do you want a co-chair?
You are gonna help organize, share leadership, and support the chair. I get a lot of chat does. No, I mean, thoughts in my head, but writing them down is, this makes me sound so much better. Try to not sound robotic, you gotta fix that part. But yeah, the co-chair, I don't, have you ever been a co-chair? Yes, yeah, so, yes, there's some of that responsibility, I think it's just meeting for coffee probably a few more times and just going, hey, can you help with the agenda, because right now, I primarily, as chair. Really try to figure out what the next meeting's gonna be, gathering, put together the slides, put together the board agenda. And support other.
I redesigned the slide, thank you very much.
The slide, yes, shout out, yes, yes, shout out, yes, the slide over.
Also would love a co-chair, so the treasurer doesn't have to do.
Yes.
So the last Tuesday of the month is the board meeting. And so the chair and the co-chair is helped a lot by board members to create the agenda and whatever. And so, of course, agendas can be like the next 3 agendas can have people that we want to as guest speakers, and so it depends on their availability when they're gonna meet them. So yeah.
Yeah, so if you know somebody else that might not be for you, if you have a neighbor that doesn't know about this, spread the word. And we're all probably gonna run, we're all running again, which is great, and so it's what you can put in. That's about you show up a few times, that's the bar. And then kind of help out in other places as you get more comfortable. And so our other board members not knowing what, and Kara and I, we kind of, what do you call it, we were just out recruiting and coffee with Patrick and Abby, and yeah, said y'all have to leave. I mean, leave, I can't leave the coffee shop. In fact. Okay. I think that's.
All right, I really
There.
close the meeting.
Yeah, you moved.
I moved the close the meeting.
All right, Abby moved, second, Trey seconds, all those in favor of, you don't get to be able to do the wrap up to this, but it's not part of the meeting. All those in favor of finishing tonight's February 10th gathering. Looks like most votes, any opposed? Any opposed? On record, who would abstain? All right, that closes out February 10th, and now the raffle.
All right, take the number.
This is almost next door. 3 down. Oh, other direction. Direction. Yes, that one. My phone. All right. I haven't been there yet. Looks great. Looks like a great spot. It looks wonderful. Yeah. And the $20 gift card actually kind of gets a pretty good. They have tacos. They have a bunch of specials. Gets you in the door. Spend more money there. That's kind of this idea of getting it all in the door somewhere and spend money. Here we go. 159 5987 5987. Do that. I realize the more people that show up, it does your odds get smaller winning. All right, thank you, April 14th, and please check out calendar for more events. Volunteer for all those things. Look at that. Big goal. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We'll do the usual. Yeah, afterwards,